Mute all again. There we go. All right. Well, good evening, everybody. This is Dee and Larry Korchin. We're so glad you're here for our team time tonight. It is Monday, November 16th, and we're just excited to share with you tonight. As we get started tonight, first of all, that was from Dr. Anderson. That is kind of the preview for Saturday's event, our RISE event. So we'll be talking about that in a second. But we just wanted to make sure that everybody understood that that was coming on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah, we've got a lot going on, you guys. Glad you're on with us tonight. And then we always follow on Monday nights with Dr. A's coach call, the field training, and then Dan Bell has a call for us afterwards. And I think you guys know, but excited to be sharing on the field call at 8:30. Would love your support, your being out there. Let me know you're there in the chat, and invite your team if you have a team. And a couple other big things that are happening this week is that we did you want to go over it?
Yeah, I got
cool.
it. Okay, we're recording.
We couldn't see anything when you guys showed that video.
Oh,
there was no video.
Oh, shoot. Okay, sorry about that. Thanks
Sorry,
for
guys.
letting us know.
All right. Well, you guys can catch it outside of here. We'll try to get that to you. So first things first, again, field training tonight at 8:30. Dee is leading that. So please hop on there. Yeah, big shout out for Dee on that. We've got everything all set up. That's why we're in my office right now, because her office, she's going to skedaddle in a minute. Let's see, Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. we have a Health and Hope night. Hopefully everybody's seen that out there as far as in Coaches Opt for Change. We have it set up. There is a Facebook event in Coaches Opt for Change with all the information to invite individuals to that event. Who to invite? Health and Hope nights are great opportunities for you to bring people, prospective clients, to the call that can learn more about our fabulous offering. But again, the key thing there is to make sure they can get an understanding of the whole program and a whole understanding. In addition to that, they do touch at a smaller percentage towards the end on coaching. So coach candidates are also another great opportunity to bring people there. And also, I encourage all of you to attend, even though you know a lot of the stuff that's on a Health and Hope night. Again, attend because it just makes you better as far as presenting the program and presenting the opportunity that we have. So again, that's Wednesday night, 8:30. And again, let's see, on Thursday, before we jump to Saturday, on Thursday, just a reminder, last week we had our first team time for you, and we had a great output. We had about 7 or 8 people on the call. It was great, just talking about business, coach questions, development, that kind of stuff. So again, please join us at 12:30 Eastern time on Thursday for that. Another rundown, there's a lot of announcements tonight. Again, Saturday, as we mentioned, all day, Together We Rise Summit. Again, it's a coach event. Everybody is encouraged to attend, okay? No matter where your business is, by all means, please attend. It's good development, and it's also a good opportunity for you to learn something that you may have not known. So there's also good stuff out there for that. And then candidates, this is also open to client candidates and coach candidates. So please register your guests, and again, make sure they know the information to attend. And again, registration for that is togetherwerisesummit.com. So again, go out there. Lastly, the local event for the summit, we have canceled here in Atlanta. Just many concerns regarding COVID, Thanksgiving coming up, being around people when we're trying to be around family for later in the week, possibly. So again, just an FYI, we've canceled that out of an abundance of concern and just caution from that standpoint. So that's it. That's what we know. So moving on to training for tonight.
Yeah, so I'm excited to kick us off. We're going to talk tonight, you guys, about offering options. Offering options to candidates, offering options to clients, offering options to struggling clients. And I just thought this was a really opportune time to talk about it because we know a lot of individuals, especially they might have medical needs or they might exercise and need variations, but sometimes people are just struggling. And we've got the holidays coming. Somebody may decide, you know what, I really don't want to, I will not commit to the 5-in-1. And we really want to always be thinking about the fact that we're not just offering a all or nothing program. It's not 5-in-1 or nothing. There are lots of options. So we're going to spend some time tonight going over what are the other options, how do they differ from the 5-in-1, fat burn versus not fat burn, where do you find more info on it, who would be a good candidate when you might use it, and then allow some time for questions. But I wanted to just give an example why I thought this might be a good time to bring it up, because just of a situation I had this past week. And I have a client that's been with me for a long time. She left for a while. She came back. She was doing really good. She didn't take my calls for a few weeks. So that's usually a sign, right? That they're not doing so well. But when we did reconnect, she was like, you know what? I start for a few days and then I fall off. And then I do this and then I fall off. And she said, you know, Thanksgiving's in 2 weeks. I'm thinking maybe let's just circle back the first of the year. You know, so she was just ready to abandon it. So it's like, well, you know, Jen, let's talk about this a little bit more. What's hard for you? What do you feel like you could do? You know, what do you feel like you're missing? And she was like, I just want to eat more. I just want to have like more of a lunch and I want whatever. Well, we ended up, you know, I explained the 4-2-1 program to her, which Julie's going to explain in a few minutes. And she was like, I could totally do that. I could do that. I would like to commit to that. And then let's circle back next week and see, you know, see where I am. So rather than have somebody say bye-bye and be gone until January, we were able to come up with an alternative for her, you know, to be able to keep moving forward. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Julie Apple. Jordan Rose is going to be coming on as well. And then we're hoping that time permits that we can open this up, because we're sure you guys are going to have some questions too. So Julie, you can go ahead and open up and take over.
All right. Can you guys hear me? Yay. All right. Happy Monday, you guys. So I'm excited to be able to share what all the different options are with you guys. I feel like I've coached for about 5.5 years and have had a lot of different client situations. My background is in personal training. So I have a perspective where a lot of my clients are exercising maybe more than the average person. So I have coached clients on 4-in-2. I've coached clients on 4-2-1. I have a lot of clients that are in maintenance optimization now, and so they do more of like a 3-in-3. So I'm happy to share kind of the basics of each one. And then Jordan's going to share about 5-2-2. And then you guys already just start writing down your questions as we're sharing, because then you can pop those in the chat as we're talking, and then we can answer specific questions or anything you guys have, because really this will be most helpful if you guys are getting your questions answered. So the one I want to start with explaining is 4-in-2. If you have used this, put in the chat number 4 if you guys have coached anybody doing 4-in-2, because I'm curious how many have used that program, or some of you guys may be new coaches. Okay, so some of you have. That's awesome. So 4-in-2, the main difference with that one is you're going to help clients eat more of their own food. And it's more, the calorie intake is 1,100 calories. So if you guys like specifics, or your clients like specifics, I reached out to nutrition support and got the calorie count for all these different options. So 4-in-2 is around 1,100 calories, and it's a fat burning plan. So one of the huge benefits is that clients can stay in fat burn and they can eat more of their own food. So 4-in-2, the basics, what it looks like is you're going to eat 4 fuelings and you get to eat 2 lean and greens. So like Dee was explaining, and I'm sure you guys are hearing clients say, I just want more food right now. The holidays are coming. So what I usually do is I ask, just like Dee said, well, what do you feel like you're missing? What do you want to do? What's your goal for the holidays? So I usually ask, tell me what you want, and then we can help match that. And I can help you with a program that's going to help you get there. So if they say, I just really still want to lose, I'm okay if it's a little slower, but I want more of my own food and I want to enjoy the next, couple weeks, the next few weeks. Okay, well, maybe 4-in-2 is a better fit, because then you get to have 2 lean and greens. So that may be a lunch where you have protein and vegetables, and then a dinner where you get to have your protein and vegetables, 3 servings of veggies at each of those meals, 5 to 7 ounces of cooked protein at each of those, and then 4 fuelings during the day. And a lot of times clients are like, yeah, I can do that. That sounds a lot better. So I do that with a lot of clients also that are more active and that are exercising more frequently. So that may be somebody that's doing maybe 4 workouts a week, an intense like Orange Theory class, or somebody that's doing, they run a lot. Let's say they run 4 or 5 times a week and they're burning a lot of calories. So 4 and 2 is great for those clients. If they want to be in fat burn, so write that down. If they want to be in fat burn, 4 and 2 is a great option. So that's first option. Second option is 4, 2, and 1. And that is also very similar to 4 and 2. If you know what the 1 is, will you put that in the chat if you have an idea of what that snack may be, like some options? Because 4, 2, and 1, the difference with that and 4 and 2 is that you are eating one optional snack. Perfect, Lauren. Yes, it's like a fruit, a dairy, a grain, starch. So the main thing you want to, if you're taking notes, you want to write down that 4, 2, and 1 is a non-fat burn program. Because when you study the science of our plans, what keeps you in fat burn is the amount of carbs you're taking in. So if you eat a piece of fruit on plan and you're doing 4, 2, and 1, you're not going to stay in fat burn because of the amount of carbs. So the one positive is if clients are complaining about, I want some fruit, you can throw out, hey, what about 4, 2, and 1? Because you'll still have structure, you'll still have the simplicity, but you get to eat fruit. So a lot of clients make a note that if your clients are complaining about not having fruit, offer 4, 2, and 1 for them. Keep it simple, but then they get to have that as an option. So that's just one of the options of 4, and 2, and 1. That one snack, the others are things like if they want to have a serving of grain, or if they want a serving of dairy or starchy veggies. So those are some other snacks that you can have on 4, 2, and 1. And if you're taking notes, the calories of 4, 2, and 1 is about 1,200 calories. So it's only a bump up of about 100 calories from 4, 2, and 1, and that's coming from that snack. Is that making sense so far? Just nod your head. Awesome. Okay. So the other one I want to outline for you guys is 3 and 3. And that may be put in the chat if you guys have clients doing 3 and 3 or some version of maintaining optimization. Yep. So 3 and 3 is great if you have clients that tell you, okay, I'm going on vacation for the next month or the next week. And I'll ask them, I'm like, well, what do you want? And if they tell me, I really just want to maintain over this next week or so, my suggestion to them is let's do 3 and 3, because that will allow you to enjoy your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but you'll still eat 3 fuelings throughout the day. So that they're still eating the 6 times a day, like we're guiding them in the long-term goal, but then they're getting to eat more frequently their own food, but still choosing wisely. So 3 and 3 is great if they tell you their goal is, I just want to maintain for the next few weeks, let's say, while we're going through the holidays. And then you don't lose them completely because they're like, I can do that. That's definitely simple, but gives me some guidance and I can keep with that. So 3 and 3 is great for that. Then if you guys have clients that have gone through transition, I use 3 and 3. I calculate their TEE, which is their total energy expenditure. And if you guys have never gone on where we do our orders, if you go to the 3 and 3 plan, under the programs at the very bottom, awesome, Ross, 3 and 3 is work to maintain. Yeah, exactly. So if you go to the very bottom of the programs under 3 and 3, it will show you the TEE calculator, and you can put in your client's information, put their height, their weight, or their goal weight. There's a couple other things you fill in there. I usually use the sedentary, so I could get a baseline calorie intake. So like if you were to go put, maybe tonight your homework after this call is to go in and put your information in there, put your goal weight, put your age and height, and then put sedentary in there so you can get a baseline of how many calories you should be taking in just to maintain your goal weight. So that's what I'll calculate for clients that have gone through. I usually calculate it as we're getting ready to start transition, so they have an end goal. So while they're working through transition, they know where their calories need to land. And that's what 3 and 3, you calculate their TEE, and then they have a calorie this is where they may have to use MyFitnessPal or some app to track their calories, and then they can keep their calories in check. So those are the three that I was going to go through. Jordan, you want to take over?
Yeah, I was just going to jump in there for a second, Julie.
Yeah.
Just again, awesome overview of the other options that we have. And again, these are options when the client says they can't do the 5-in-1, usually, right? It's usually, I can't get it. We know 5-in-1 is really our gold standard as far as weight loss. So again, just a reminder. So again, when you have a struggling client, just good options. So thank you again, Julie. And now, Jordan, over to you.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, so I'm going to share with you guys about my favorite plan, the 5-2-2. So this plan, for those of you who may not know, I started Optavia with a 10-week-old newborn. And we do have nursing moms plans specific for nursing moms that are like a 3-and-3. But I'm going to be completely honest. I had 2 toddlers and a newborn, and I said, there's no way I can do that. And so 5-2-2 was presented to me as an option. I don't think it's an official nursing moms plan, but it worked great in my life. And so what it is 5 fuelings a day, 2 full lean and green meals, including the healthy fats a day, and then 2 healthy snacks. Just like the 4-2-1 plan, it's a starch, a fruit, or a dairy. And honestly, I really think that this plan works so well for me because it was a lot of food. It's about anywhere between 1,300 to 1,500 calories, depending on what you choose. But it still maintains that structure and allows a lot of freedom within that structure. It is not a fat burning plan. So it's really not appropriate for weight loss phase for most people. But if you have someone like me that's a nursing mom and just needs straightforward and simple, it's a really good option. Also, a diabetic that may have unstable blood sugar and needs to lose over 100 pounds, that's a great option for them. And then I actually talked with nutrition support a few months ago about someone who has a very, very, very physical job, like he does like construction stuff and yard work business or something. And that was the option that they offered me for him as well. And I do want to mention, like, for the starch and fruit, I'll put a link in the chat of the PDF guide for the 5-2-2, and it does have in there listed like some healthy starch options, some fruit options, and their serving sizes. But the Healthy Exchanges list is a great resource for these plans that have that healthy snack on the side. So any questions that you have about 5-2-2, I'm your girl. I know there's several other nursing moms in our organization that have used that plan, and it's been wonderful. So just want to make sure that you guys know that it is the bomb, but also a really good option.
Jordan, thank you so much. Any questions on that? We can put them in the chat or you can unmute. I am seeing a lot of questions out there. When's the appropriate time to move to these programs in and out? There's really not a defined time. Again, a lot of this is because, a client may be struggling or looking for options. Ideally, you don't want it every day, right? If anything, you want to get a client on there probably for, I would guess, and I'd look to Julie and Jordan for other comments on this, but again, probably at least a week, if not more, maybe 2 weeks to get into that. Because again, we know the body takes about probably a week to adjust, just like it takes a week to get into fat burn. So adjusting, it's going to take a little bit. So I would probably say at least 2 weeks. But again, these are tougher clients. That's why we want to provide them options. All right, and I'm going to open it up in general for questions on this, but also anything else that we have. And then I have 2 last things to wrap up. prior to as we get ready for Thanksgiving.
Okay. Jordan, this is Connie Queen. I have a new client who's starting 5, 2, and 2. Actually, her box arrives tomorrow. And she's a little bit unique, and we work with nutrition support. It took me about a month to get her in, because she only wants non-GMOs. That's mostly select products. And so there's limited number of products. She plays tennis 5 times a day, 5 times a week. She bikes 15 miles on Saturdays, and she takes Sunday off. And so this is what they recommended for her. But what I'm understanding is that she's not going to go into fat burn. Is that correct? She'll just lose steadily because of low calorie intake.
That's my understanding. And honestly, like, she may experience like that increased energy and because her body's going to use the carbs that she's eating. Like, that's kind of what I experienced. And I think that's why I lost so quickly, because my weight loss was 45 pounds in 4.5 months. And knowing like what the body uses to make milk, and that was almost exactly the carbs that I was getting, it was almost as if I was in a fat burn, but they can't scientifically say that it's a fat burn. Does that make sense?
Right. I just want to not be telling her that's what's going to happen. Watch for it.
And I will say the other thing in that PDF guide, if I don't know if you've sent that to her already, but it has like a sample day in there. And that's really helpful with like getting all the food in, because it's a lot of food.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I was just going to pipe in. I saw Sieta asked about the 4 and 2. So 4 and 2, if you ask nutrition support, they will tell you that you can be in fat burn on 4 and 2 because of where your carbs are, the amount that you're taking in. So it's 4 and 2 can still be fat burn versus 4, 2, and 1. When you add that snack, that takes you out of fat burn. So just to make sure you guys know the difference, 4 and 2 without the snack keeps you in fat burn, versus 4, 2, and 1 with the snack in there will take you out of fat burn. And one other thing I was going to mention is that my sister also did the nursing moms. Well, she was a nursing mom. She did 4, 2, and 1, and she did great. She just recently, I think I looked last night, I think it was, and I posted it in Jordan's question the other day. I think she lost about 20 pounds in about 3 months doing 4, 2, and 1 and no exercise either. So 4, 2, and 1, and this is one key, maybe too much information, but if you guys do have nursing moms, you don't want them to go too low in calories because that will cut their milk supply. So keeping the calories at a certain amount is very important for nursing moms. So that was good enough for my sister. Milk supply stayed fine. Some clients, that's not the case. And then like Jordan, 522 is great. So you'll have to work with your clients if you have a nursing mom. But I think for the rest of Sieta's question is 4 and 2, because it's about 12, 4 and 2 is 1,100 calories. So you are going to have a calorie deficit, because if you go calculate what an average woman, let's say, needs to take in is 1,600 calories a day. If you're only eating 1,100 calories a day on plan, that's a 500 calorie deficit every day. So you'll still lose weight. So that's why Shauna said, yeah, I lost. So you will still lose weight. It's just, it won't be maybe as rapid as 5 and 1. So 4 and 2 with a calorie deficit, 4, 2, and 1 with calorie deficit, all that, you'll still lose weight. So hopefully that helps you guys understand the science and the numbers a little bit more.
Yeah, just to pop in there, Julie, that was me typing on Shauna's computer since we're sharing a screen. I lost 60 pounds on the 4 and 2. Shauna lost 87 on the 5 and 1.
And somebody asked about men and women on here, the difference between men and women's calorie count if both 5 and 1. So that's a really, really good question. And I asked nutrition support about that early on because I coached a like 300-pound man. And I was like, how is this man going to survive on 5 and 1? And the way they explain that is that because of the science of fat burn, your body's using your fat stores for energy. So calories do not matter at that point. So that is the difference with Optavia and our mild fat burn versus like a Weight Watchers, because Weight Watchers is based on calorie deficit. Our plan is based on fat burn. So a 300-pound man and a 130-pound woman can do the same exact plan because their body's using their extra fat basically for their energy. And your muscles protected, so you can coach and give with confidence, tell your clients, it's totally fine to be on 5 and 1. Now you may find that some men need just a little extra, like my dad, when he did program, he needed an extra hard-boiled egg every day, and that filled the gap and he was great. Some men don't need anything. Some women may need a little extra, but you'll figure that out. But in most of the time, 5 and 1 is perfect for men and women, no matter what their weight loss goals are. Let's see, is there anything else? My husband did 5 and 1 and just shy of 300. There you go, said Gina. That's awesome. Anything else that you guys have questions about? This is your chance. We have a few minutes. I don't know. Do we have a few minutes, Larry?
You got another minute.
Okay.
Real quick, 4, 2, and 1. If they did the plan compliant snack, couldn't they stay in fat burn that way, rather than the starch or the fruit or the grain?
That is such a good question. I was looking at that today, and I think if they do just the Optavia one, the like puffs and those, I think they should be fine because that's on the snacks as well. It would be the starch or dairy or grains. Just think about it from a food perspective. Those extra carbs coming from food like that would take you out of fat burn. Good question.
Alrighty. Well, thank you again, Julie and Jordan. Great stuff. And just a full disclosure for our new coaches, if we confuse the heck out of you, okay, please reach out to your coach. And again, they can help clarify. There's no 6 and 0. There's no 5, 2, 2, and 5. So again, just an FYI, what we disclosed here are Optavia plans. So again, this is what exists out there. So again, great job, Jordan and Julie. And again, great communication on that. All right, so as we wrap up the last minute or two here, a couple quick things. Thanksgiving is around the corner. So tonight, of course, Dee's going to be sharing as far as tips for Thanksgiving, so you can work with your clients and share those tips with them. But a couple things that around Thanksgiving time. First of all, last week, if you recall on the newsletter, there was actually a recipe for Thanksgiving dinner. So it had turkey, mashed or stuffing with cauliflower, and I think we had green beans in there. So again, don't forget that that's out there to share with your clients if they're concerned about making a healthy turkey and some healthy sides. Additionally, some of the things as far as what I consider getting the word out, marketing as far as our services. Again, prepare your clients for referrals. They're going to be coming around family and friends around the holidays, and share with them how to refer to you. You know, I always use, please just introduce me through a 3-way text. That's the most ideal way, and I appreciate those when I get referrals that way. But they're going to come across it, and please educate them on how to share the program. That's always important, to make sure they share it in the right way, and don't say, well, I'm doing packaged food or whatever. You know, we know the language we don't like clients to share. So again, it's a good opportunity there as well. And lastly, again, the coaching is another opportunity, especially in this year. There are so many people that struggled with unemployment or underemployment. Okay, so again, educating your clients on that. And of course, while you're enjoying your time with family and friends, please make sure that's in the back of your mind as well. Listen for people that are struggling from a financial standpoint. Again, more of that later tonight from Ms. D. Any last questions before we jump off and jump over to Dr. A's call? All righty. Well, awesome. It was great being on tonight with you guys. Looking forward to the events we have later this week, and be safe out there. Love you guys, and we'll see you later on. Take care.